In the Factor follow-up segment tonight, Democrats and the new Benghazi investigation. Now that the Select Committee is a done deal, the question remains, will Democrats cooperate?
Let's not be accomplices to this diversionary tactic. It's all subterfuge because they don't want to talk about what our responsibilities are here. And we have to make a judgment as to how dangerous we think they can be with their misrepresentation of the facts of the committee. The Speaker says he doesn't want it to go that place. I hope that he that's how it will go. And when I speak with him, we'll see.
With me now in New York to analyze, Steve Laser, a former aide to the Obama presidential campaign, and from Providence, Rhode Island, radio talk show host and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Steve, I'm going to start with you. You're saying don't participate in the Benghazi hearing. Why?
Well, look, depending upon which hearings you count, this is between the 5th and the 8th investigation into the Benghazi attacks. It's just not just beating a dead horse at this point. It's going back the 7th time to beat the dead horse. These emails, they don't say anything new about what happened in Benghazi, whether the terrorist attacks could have been prevented or anything like that. This is just going to be a rehash of the same thing. The same witnesses have been interviewed 2, 3, 4 times now. So what is the point of these investigations? Congress would be better spent doing anything else with their time.
You know, I could say that there's some new information that's come to light since the last hearing. But Leslie, you say go ahead, participate, and what do you want? Equal representation on the hearing board?
I want fair and balanced here, Eric. Seriously. We need 6 and 6. You know, just saying, oh, we're going to give you some forewarning on subpoenas that are issued and we'll let you look into some of the documentation. That's not enough. And I don't think it bodes well for Republicans in an election year. And I do feel and agree with Steve somewhat. This is definitely politically motivated. We had 5 independent investigations, one a bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee. Nothing has showed that there was any kind of cover-up at the White House, and this isn't going to either.
I love the fact that we have 2 Democrats disagreeing on the same topic. You gotta love that. But here is the question. So how is it going to be perceived by the public, by the population, by America, if the Democrats do or don't participate? Which one says, as Steve points out, you've had enough, you've had your moment, or is it the other side of the coin that says, hey, do you not care enough, Democrats? Do you not care enough, Steve, Democrats, that you're not willing to at least ask more questions?
Well, my response to that would be we cared enough to participate 5 times. And we don't want to do it again. You know, we make fun of Italy for 3 Amanda Knox hearings to try to get the result that they wanted over there. This is 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
Steve, don't you think the Republicans are going to say, hey, look, you didn't want to show up. What, you don't want answers? 4 dead Americans?
No, I mean, we've got the answers already. It was a terrible thing that happened. Some signals were missed. That's the same thing. And every single time that we've had Americans die, whether it's 9/11, whether it's the Beirut bombings, the Tet Offensive, Pearl Harbor, we can go back to all of those. This is the first one that's been politicized this way, and it's enough. You know, Republicans have had enough times at this. We've had all these investigations, all these witnesses. They're going to give the same answers to the same questions.
Leslie, some people are saying that this might be a brilliant politics on the left by saying, you know what, as Steve points out, we've done this already. You know what, you guys, you Republicans, have your fun with your hearing.
You know, if you're asking me who's going to be right or wrong here, Steve or I'm right, you're wrong. Sorry, Steve. And the reason for this is that you know that we're looking at in this election and past elections the centrists, the moderates, the independents, people that don't want to identify with Democrats on the left or Republicans on the right. There are many Americans who still want answers. I'm not sure every American's going to get the answer they want. I think the truth has come out 5 times. If there's a 6th, I think the Democrats need to be present to make sure the truth comes out, especially because I do feel this is politically motivated.
Right, let me throw something at you, Leslie. If you watch some of these hearings, and we spend a lot of time watching these hearings, what typically happens in a Benghazi hearing, the Republicans will ask poignant questions about what happened. Where were you? What happened? Where's the email trail? We want to know. The Democrats will come up, have their moment, and turn the subject to something completely different, almost like they're diverting the attention, wasting the time of the committee and the American people's time because they don't want to do this. So does it make sense? They look terrible doing it.
No, I don't agree with you on that. If you read the transcript, and I'm sure you have, Eric, as I have, of the report that was released early this year in January by the Senate Intelligence Committee, bipartisan, and I felt very fair and balanced, quite frankly. I feel the questions were very straight. Our Secretary of State, who was a Democratic senator for years, John Kerry, has said that he will cooperate. I don't think that's changed in the past 6 hours. And the bottom line here is the Democrats need to be present, although I do think it's a waste of taxpayer time and money. Not not to find out what happened in Benghazi, to come up with a sixth, or like Steve said, maybe eighth answer to that question that's been answered five times now with these committees.
There's new information. We now know that the talking points were purposely told to go in a direction that they knew very well wasn't the direction of what they really believed, and they sent Susan Rice out there to 5 talk shows. This information is new. Also new information since the last hearing is that President Obama was not in the Situation Room at the time. Don't we need more answers?
Here's the problem with that narrative that the Republicans seem to want to sell right now, and that is that the President of the United States, Barack Obama, the very next day after this happened, went out and said this was an act of terror. So for Republicans to try to claim that the administration wanted to put out the narrative that it wasn't an act of terror, that it was these, the video, the anti-Muslim video that caused this to happen, the President of the United States himself counters that.
You know what? I'm going to side with Leslie on this one, only because we spend so much money in this country. Leslie, a few more bucks to get some answers is well worth it. Steve and Leslie, thank you very much.